Before anyone trusts my sister, ask her why she tried to steal my wedding money.
You've been jealous of me your entire life.
Tonight, everyone finally gets to see who you really are.
Actually, everyone should see who really took the money. You framed your sister?
You wanted everyone to see who I really am. Now they saw you.
My sister destroyed her own wedding with one sentence. She smiled into the microphone, looked directly at me, and said, "Before anyone trusts Emily, ask her why she tried to steal my wedding money." 150 guests turned toward me. The ballroom became so quiet that I could hear the photographer's camera clicking. I was standing beside the bridal table in a dusty blue bridesmaid dress, holding a champagne glass I had not touched. My older sister Vanessa looked beautiful. Perfect white gown. Perfect blonde hair. Perfect makeup. And the same cruel smile she had worn every time she hurt me and knew no one would challenge her. I whispered, "Vanessa, stop." She tilted her head. "Why? You wanted attention." I didn't take anything. A few guests began whispering. My father stood near the front table. He would not look at me. Vanessa lifted the microphone again. $10,000 disappeared from our wedding fund last week. She paused dramatically. And guess where Dad found some of it? I already knew what she was going to say. In Emily's bag. The whispers became louder. My stomach turned. I wanted the floor to open beneath me. Vanessa continued. My sister has been jealous of me her entire life. I thought maybe today she could put that aside. She looked toward the guests. Apparently not. My name is Emily Carter. I was 29 years old when my sister accused me of theft in the middle of her wedding reception. The accusation was false. But by then, most of my family already believed it. Vanessa had made sure of that. Growing up, Vanessa and I could not have been more different. She was 4 years older. Beautiful, outgoing, competitive. I was quiet. I preferred books, drawing, and spending evenings at home. Vanessa loved being watched. I hated being the center of attention. Our mother used to say we balanced each other. After Mom died when I was 17, the balance disappeared. Vanessa began controlling every family situation. She decided where we spent holidays. She chose restaurants. She organized birthdays. She spoke for Dad even when he was sitting beside her. And because she was confident, people usually accepted her version of events. If Vanessa said I forgot something, everyone assumed I forgot. If she said I was being sensitive, people told me to calm down. If we argued, she always explained the argument first. Her version became the truth before I opened my mouth. I learned to stop fighting. Silence was easier. Vanessa interpreted that silence as weakness. When she became engaged to Michael Hayes, she called me before telling most of the family. Michael was kind, successful, and patient. He worked in commercial architecture and came from a close family. I was happy for her. At least, I wanted to be. Vanessa asked me to be maid of honor. I was surprised. We haven't exactly been close lately. You're my sister. I know. People would think it was strange if you weren't. That sentence explained the invitation. She did not want me because she trusted me. She wanted the correct picture. I accepted anyway. Part of me hoped the wedding might repair something between us. For 8 months, I helped Vanessa plan everything. I attended dress fittings. I contacted florists. I assembled invitation boxes. I stayed up until 2 in the morning creating seating cards after the printer delivered the wrong format. Vanessa rarely thanked me. Instead, she criticized details. These ribbons are crooked. The flowers look cheap. Why would you choose that font? If I reminded her that she had chosen something herself, she became angry. You always have to make me look stupid. So I stopped correcting her. The wedding budget became a problem about 3 months before the ceremony. My father had promised Vanessa $25,000. Michael's parents contributed another $20,000. Vanessa and Michael were supposed to cover anything beyond that. Vanessa kept adding expenses. Designer flowers. A second photographer. A champagne wall. Imported table linens. An upgraded honeymoon suite. Every week, the cost increased. Michael began questioning it. We agreed on a budget. It's one wedding. One wedding does not mean unlimited money. You can afford it. That is not the point. Vanessa hated hearing no. She started asking Dad for more money privately. Dad had recently retired. He was comfortable but not wealthy. He gave her another $5,000 anyway. I found out because he mentioned delaying repairs to his roof. You gave Vanessa the roof money? She said the venue balance was due. She and Michael both have good jobs. She's stressed. She's 33. Dad frowned. Emily. What? Please don't make this harder. That sentence had followed me my entire life. Do not make it harder. Which usually meant, let Vanessa have what she wants. The wedding money was kept temporarily inside Dad's home safe because Vanessa did not want Michael to see every cash gift relatives had given her before the wedding. That should have bothered me more than it did. But I stayed out of it. One Saturday, Vanessa asked me to meet her at Dad's house to help transport decorations. Dad was out shopping. Vanessa arrived before me. When I walked inside, she was standing near his office. What are you doing? Getting Mom's earrings. Our mother had left Vanessa a pair of diamond earrings she wanted to wear at the wedding. They were kept in the safe. I helped carry decorations to my car. Vanessa placed several bags in the trunk. One was my canvas tote containing my laptop charger, notebook, and wallet. I did not see her touch it again. The following evening, Dad called me. His voice sounded strange. Emily, were you in my office yesterday? Yes. Did you open the safe? No, are you sure? Dad, what happened? Money is missing. How much? $10,000. I sat down. Did Vanessa take it? There was a long silence. Vanessa says she didn't. Why are you asking me? She said you were near the office. So was she. Emily, the tone of his voice frightened me. What? I need you to check your things. For what? Please. I opened my canvas tote. My notebook was inside. My wallet. My charger. And beneath them was a white envelope. I pulled it out. Cash. $100 bills. My hands began shaking. Dad! You found something. There's money in my bag. He exhaled slowly. How much? I counted. $3,000. I didn't put this here. Dad did not answer. Dad, listen to me. I did not take this. Then how did it get there? I don't know. Emily. It was Vanessa. The moment I said her name, his voice hardened. Don't do that. She had access to my bag. Your sister is getting married next week. What does that have to do with anything? Why would she steal her own wedding money and put it in your bag? I don't know. Exactly. I felt sick. You think I stole it? I don't know what to think. Yes, you do. He told me to bring the money back. I did. Vanessa was waiting at his house. She stood in the kitchen crying. The moment I entered, she looked at me. Why? I almost laughed. You know exactly why. Dad said, enough. Vanessa shook her head. I defended you. From what? Dad wanted to call the police. Dad looked uncomfortable. That was probably another lie. Vanessa continued. I told him you were probably under financial pressure. I earn my own money. I know you've had problems. What problems? You complained about rent. I complained that my landlord raised it. You said you were struggling. I said rent was ridiculous. She looked at Dad. See? Everything becomes an argument. I stared at my sister. You put the money in my bag. Vanessa's tears disappeared. You sound insane. Only 3,000 was in my bag. Where is the rest? I don't know. You took it. Dad slammed his hand onto the counter. Stop. We both became silent. He looked at me. Give me the money. I handed him the envelope. We will deal with this after the wedding. After the wedding? I don't want a family scandal right now. I looked at Vanessa. She had one. She knew it. She moved closer and whispered so quietly Dad could not hear. You should be grateful he isn't calling the police. I whispered back. You made one mistake. Her eyes narrowed. What? You think I'm going to stay quiet forever? She smiled. You always do. I almost withdrew from the wedding. But Dad begged me not to. If you disappear now, everyone will ask questions. Maybe they should. Please, Emily. Just get through Saturday. Vanessa also wanted me there. Not because she forgave me. Because she wanted the photographs. And because, as I later understood, she had not finished humiliating me. The wedding day arrived. The ceremony was held inside a luxury hotel ballroom. White roses covered the aisle. A string quartet played near the entrance. Vanessa walked toward Michael looking like she had stepped out of a magazine. For a few minutes, I allowed myself to forget everything. Michael looked genuinely happy. I hoped my sister would become kinder in marriage. That hope lasted approximately 3 hours. During dinner, Vanessa drank several glasses of champagne. The speeches began. Michael's father spoke first. Then our father. Dad talked about Mom. He said she would have been proud. I cried quietly. Vanessa watched me from the bridal table. Then she took the microphone. At first, her speech was normal. She thanked guests. She thanked the wedding party. She thanked Dad. Then she looked at me. And I especially want to thank my sister Emily. Something in her voice made my body tense. She taught me something important this week. Guests smiled politely. Vanessa continued. She taught me that jealousy can make people do terrible things. Michael looked at her. Vanessa. She ignored him. My father became pale. I stood. Don't. She smiled. Why? Everyone deserves to know. Then she told them. The missing money. My bag. Her version of my lifelong jealousy. She described me as bitter because she was getting married first. I had never cared who married first. She claimed I wanted to sabotage her wedding because I could not stand seeing her happy. People stared at me. An aunt shook her head. A cousin whispered something to his wife. My father walked over. Emily, maybe you should leave. The sentence hurt more than Vanessa's speech. You want me to leave? Just until things calm down. She is humiliating me in front of everyone. I know. And your solution is to remove me? Please. Vanessa spoke into the microphone again. You see. She always becomes the victim. That was when someone at the back of the ballroom said. Actually, I think everyone should see the video. The voice belonged to Lucas Grant, the wedding videographer. Vanessa lowered the microphone. What? Lucas had filmed the entire wedding week. The venue had hired him for preparation footage, rehearsal dinner coverage, and a same-day highlight film. He walked toward the projection table holding his laptop. Vanessa laughed nervously. This isn't part of the schedule. Lucas looked at Michael. I think you need to see this. Michael stood. What is it? Lucas connected his computer to the ballroom screen. Vanessa moved toward him. Turn that off. Michael blocked her. Vanessa. Her face changed. For the first time that day, she looked afraid. Lucas played the recording. The video had been captured at Dad's house the Saturday before the wedding. Lucas had been filming exterior footage and sentimental family details for Vanessa's wedding film. Vanessa specifically asked him to record Mom's old wedding photograph inside Dad's office. He arrived earlier than expected. No one answered the front door. The door was unlocked because Vanessa was already inside. Lucas entered while filming continuously. The footage showed the hallway. Then Dad's office. Vanessa was standing in front of the open safe. The entire ballroom became silent. On screen, Vanessa removed several envelopes. She counted cash. Then she heard a car outside. Mine. She quickly closed the safe. The footage continued. My canvas tote sat beside the decorations. Vanessa opened it. She placed one cash envelope inside. $3,000. Then she hid the remaining envelopes inside one of her wedding decoration boxes. The guests gasped. Vanessa ran toward the projection system. Turn it off. Michael stopped her. No, Lucas filmed me without permission. Lucas replied, you hired me to film wedding preparation inside that house. The video continued. I appeared in the hallway moments later. I asked Vanessa what she was doing. Her recorded voice answered. Getting Mom's earrings. Then the screen froze. No one moved. My father stared at Vanessa. You took it. She began crying. Dad, I can explain. You put it in Emily's bag. I panicked. Why? Vanessa looked around the ballroom. All the attention she had wanted was finally hers. She could not control it anymore. Michael walked toward her. Where is the other $7,000? Vanessa said nothing. Vanessa. I needed it. For what? She started crying harder. I had deposits due. We had money for the deposits. I upgraded things. Without telling me. You kept saying no. Michael stared at her. So you stole from your father? I was going to put it back. And framed your sister. I needed Dad to stop asking questions. I finally understood. Vanessa had spent beyond the wedding budget. She took the money because she believed Dad would eventually notice. Putting part of it in my bag created an explanation before anyone could ask where the rest went. She used me because everyone was accustomed to believing her first. Michael looked disgusted. You were going to let your family believe Emily stole from them? Vanessa looked toward me. She hates me. I almost laughed. That is your explanation. You've always judged me. I helped you plan this wedding for 8 months. Because you wanted everyone to think you were better than me. No, Vanessa. I helped because you were my sister. She screamed, stop pretending you're innocent. The ballroom became completely still again. I walked toward the microphone. Vanessa tightened her grip on it. I did not take it. I did not need to shout. You wanted everyone to see who I really am. She stared at me. I looked toward the giant screen. Now they saw you. Then I walked away. My father followed me into the hotel corridor. Emily. I kept walking. Please. I stopped. He was crying. I'm sorry. For what part? For believing her. You didn't just believe her. He lowered his eyes. You asked me to leave. I was trying to stop the scene. You were trying to stop the wrong person. I know. No, Dad. This has happened my entire life. He looked confused. Vanessa gets loud, and I get removed. That isn't fair. It isn't. That's the point. He started to speak. I stopped him. I don't need you to fix this tonight. What do you need? For once, don't ask me to forgive someone because confronting them is uncomfortable. I left the hotel. I did not see how the reception ended. Lucas later told me most guests left within an hour. Michael did not complete the planned first dance. He spent the evening speaking with his parents and the hotel manager. Vanessa stayed in the bridal suite alone. The marriage had already been legally completed during the ceremony. But Michael separated from her immediately. 3 days later, He filed for annulment based on fraud connected to financial representations she had made before the wedding. The exact legal process became complicated. That was not my concern. My concern was my family. Dad reported the missing money. Vanessa returned most of the $7,000. She had already spent part of it on wedding upgrades Michael refused to approve. Dad chose not to pursue the harshest criminal consequences after restitution, but the hotel footage remained evidence. More importantly, everyone now knew the truth. For weeks, relatives sent me messages. Some apologized. Others said they had always suspected Vanessa could be difficult. Those messages made me angry. If they always suspected it, why had they found it so easy to believe I was a thief? I stopped answering most of them. Vanessa sent me 13 messages the first week. The first blamed Lucas. The second blamed Michael. The third blamed Dad. By the seventh, she blamed me. You could have stopped the video. I replied once. You could have stopped before putting money in my bag. She wrote, you destroyed my wedding. I answered, no. The video showed what you did before the wedding. I blocked her. Dad began therapy. That surprised me. He told me he had spent years choosing whichever daughter was easiest to calm. That was usually you, he said. So I was punished for being reasonable. Yes. And Vanessa was rewarded for becoming louder. Yes. He looked ashamed. I thought I was keeping the family together. You were teaching her that cruelty worked. He nodded. It was painful hearing him admit it. But it was necessary. My relationship with him did not return to normal immediately. I stopped attending family gatherings where Vanessa was present. I stopped allowing relatives to use me as the messenger between us. When someone said, "But she's your sister," I replied, "That explains the relationship. It does not excuse the behavior." Michael contacted me once. He apologized for what happened at the wedding. "You didn't do it," I said. "I should have noticed how she treated you. That was not your responsibility. I loved her." "I know." He paused. "I think I loved the person she performed." That sentence stayed with me. Vanessa had spent years controlling what people saw. The loving daughter. The perfect sister. The glamorous bride. The successful woman who always had everything together. She believed appearances were stronger than truth. For most of our lives, she had been right. Until a camera happened to be recording. 6 months later, Vanessa sent me a handwritten letter. I almost threw it away. Instead, I read it. She did not ask me to forget. She did not say the wedding stress made her do it. She wrote, "I knew Dad would believe me because he usually believed whichever version I gave him first. I put the money in your bag because I knew you would become quiet when accused. I used your personality against you." That sentence hurt more than anything she had said into the microphone. Because it was true. She had not framed a random person. She had selected the sister least likely to defend herself publicly. The letter continued, "I thought if I embarrassed you badly enough, you would leave and the problem would disappear. Instead, everyone saw me. I do not expect you to forgive me." I read the letter twice. Then I placed it inside a drawer. I did not respond for another 6 months. Eventually, I wrote, "I believe you understand what you did. That does not mean I am ready to have you in my life." Vanessa replied, "I understand." That was the beginning of accountability. Not reconciliation. There is a difference. 2 years later, we attended our father's retirement dinner. It was the first time Vanessa and I had been in the same room since the wedding. She arrived alone. Her hair was shorter. Her clothing was simpler. She did not make an entrance. When she saw me, she stopped several feet away. "Hi. Hi. I won't come closer unless you want me to." That was probably the first real boundary she had ever respected. "You can sit down," I said. We spoke for 10 minutes. Not about the wedding. Not about Michael. We talked about Dad. Then we separated. That was enough. Our relationship never returned to childhood. Maybe that was healthy. I no longer believed being sisters required pretending nothing happened. Vanessa eventually rebuilt parts of her life. Michael moved on too. Dad and I became closer because he finally learned that keeping peace and protecting the innocent were not always the same action. As for me, the wedding changed something fundamental. For years, I believed staying quiet made me strong. Sometimes it did. Sometimes silence prevented pointless arguments. But silence also gave people permission to narrate my life for me. Vanessa relied on that. She publicly accused me because she believed I would cry, leave, and allow her version to become permanent. She almost succeeded. If Lucas had not recorded the truth, I do not know how many people would still believe I stole that money. That frightened me. But it also taught me something. Evidence matters. Boundaries matter. And when someone humiliates you publicly, you are not required to protect their reputation while defending your own. Vanessa wanted her wedding to prove she had everything I did not. The perfect dress. The perfect husband. The perfect life. Instead, one video exposed the only thing that mattered. She had stolen from our father. She had framed her sister. And she had built her perfect image on the assumption that I would remain quiet. That night, everybody finally saw the truth. And for once, I did not have to scream to be believed.